Oh, it's so close.
All right. Jeff,
Hey, buddy.
how you doing?
Good.
Excellent.
My microphone's not working.
Oh man, I'm ready.
Filter microphone.
All right, so we have Jeff here. I'm Trent, and we're broadcasting.
Are you actually on right now?
And Timmy over here. I think we're on.
Are you on?
Check the link, and I will. Nice. Bye.
Am I coming through this mic right here?
Yeah. Correct. That's correct.
Y'all are like 30 seconds behind live, or in front of live.
So I think the only way to really be involved in this is to do it live. Timmy says we are 30 seconds ahead. I sent him the link so he can get involved. And today we're here to chat about the ECHO conference. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm joined here by Jeff McIntosh, and let's see if there's anyone else that can join us. So we have some people over watching that aren't involved. Glad those guys are here too. See if we can get some more folks into the actual chat here. And we're just going to go over some things today with, as far as the ECHO conference goes, because it came to my attention recently that people were kind of sad that ECHO is not happening this year.
Mm-hmm.
How
Definitely.
about you? You sad?
Yeah, I'm very sad. You know, I've gone to, 2 echoes, and I don't know, how many were there? 5 or 6 in total?
6.
Okay,
I have
so
all my badges here.
yeah, nice. So you were at you were at them all, I guess.
Yeah. There's some Bart art, some more Bart art. That's the ECHO bot. Let's go. Okay. We have the 8-bit stuff that Bart worked on this stuff and Joe worked on this stuff.
Right.
And it was a good run. So which ones did you come to? The last 2?
Yeah, so the last 2, 3, well, third one, I just heard about it, that month or something like that, and I didn't know too much about it and was going to, see what was happening, and then all the conversation online and friends that were going, I was really sad that I didn't go, so I made it, a necessary thing to go to the following year. Really excited. I think we might have met, the first time there in person. Just connecting with people for the first time, and then, the year after. Felt very comfortable there, just like a reunion of church media people coming together. It was awesome.
Well, it was very exciting for me to meet you, partially because I just like to meet creative types, but when there are people in our area that are creating media and making stuff for churches, it's always just fun to kind of hang out, get together, and get to know each other, see what works, what doesn't work, and learn from each other. So that was very exciting for me. How does it sound back here? Does it sound pretty loud in our office? Or is it okay?
Sounds good through my earphones here.
All
I can
right.
hear you. How do I share this? I don't have the share link that I used to have. So people are maybe watching, but they can't actually join in the video chat. Is that right?
Maybe.
I don't have that share link that I had the other time.
Let's see. When I see someone, I'm going to start
Maybe I can
inviting.
share this link.
Let's see. I see Hal on there. Let's see if I can invite Hal. Does Hal want to be in? That's the question.
How about?
Okay, so what did you know about Echo beforehand?
What did I know about Echo? I don't know. That's an interesting question. What didn't I know? Before I went? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, before you went.
You know, I just saw it as this meeting place of designers and creatives in the church coming together. You know, I see this type of people is very isolated. You know, within a church, maybe there's only one of you that's the designer.
Yeah.
And a lot of churches don't even have one. Maybe it's just a volunteer position. So here is a chance for people to come together with common interests and chat and learn and be together. And definitely that interests me.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I liked most about Echo is that we would be able to come from all over the country, sometimes the world, all to one spot, encourage each other, hang out together, talk media, talk cameras, talk motion graphics, but also just hang out with each other and challenge each other and that kind of stuff. That was very exciting for me. It always felt like, even after the first year, maybe even at the very first Echo, it kind of already felt like a homecoming, like
Right.
everybody that was already set up to be friends anyway just showed up in one spot and we were all buddies.
Well, yeah, sure. You have that glue of common interest, right? And even just, you know, there's a lot of chat online of people you know, people you follow, and here's that chance to interact with them on a personal level, shake their hand, say hi, eat lunch with them.
Yeah.
You know, learn from their breakout, and it just solidifies your friendship with them. And you know, last time we had a nice lunch together, and that really meant a lot to me. Just having a chat, we got to talk about life, media, you know, what we're doing in our church, family, and stuff like that, and it just solidified our friendship, even though we're, I don't know, 6 hours plane trip apart.
Yeah.
You know, we have a bond and a memory that without Echo, that wouldn't have happened, right?
I agree. I fully agree. And that happened with, I'm sure for you, with lots of different folks, and for me also, lots of different folks. It was fun to meet people in the Dallas area and just still be able to get to hang out with those guys, but also through the years to be able to keep up with, continue to connect with, help out, answer questions for people that aren't in the area, and just edify each other. You know, one of the exciting things for me was here at Igniter, we got an email from a lady named Cindy in St. Louis. I believe that's where she is. And she's gonna fuss at me if I got it wrong. And she said, "Hey, we like your stuff, and would like to just learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing and how you do what you do." And so I got in touch with her and kind of started a little bit of a friendship, an online kind of friendship, and answered some questions. And then eventually she got to come to an Echo, and through just one email she sent a couple of years ago to introduce herself, she came down, we got to hang out, meet her face to face, and it's just really fun to have that connection kind of come full circle.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what are some of your favorite things that you remember from Echo?
Yeah, favorite moments. yeah, kind of general ones were just worshiping together in at Watermark Church. I guess those were the two that I was at, and just
Yeah, it's very different when you are in worship, doing worship, instead of behind the scenes creating worship every Sunday.
Definitely. It was fun. It was fun that it was as a worship experience for creatives. I remember last year, it was kind of a funny moment. So yeah, the theme was this 8-bit video game kind of theme, right? And during one of the worship songs, you had like clouds come up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like video clouds, but then you also had digital clouds.
Yeah.
That kind of came up, and it was just kind of I thought it was kind of a humorous moment where that was for us, you know. That was just putting the theme into the worship set and just having a little fun with it. And I don't know, it just brought a lot of joy seeing something that maybe to someone else wouldn't mean as much, or you know, they would just pass it off. But it was a little just a little bit that just made me laugh and smile and created a moment.
Yeah, no pun intended when you said it was a little bit. That was the brainchild of Jonathan Malm, who was the Echo director last year. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just another nod to what was going on with the theme.
Definitely. I think, and that was another, you know, theme of the conference in general, just humor. Creatives, we like to play, we like to have fun, and you know, there was a lot of joking around and laughing, and I think you know, definitely guys in churches grinding it out all year long, you know, in the dark corner, video editing Saturday night, putting things together, just to come out and just have a laugh, refresh in that way. I think is powerful.
Some of the things that I remember the most are like the ice cream truck. I remember, let's see, I really like the Daven videos, and Steve Vanderhyde, who works up here with us, spent countless hours, all day shooting, all night editing for those videos, and they just were really, really fun.
Right,
let's see.
You would do some shooting day of, and it'd be in the reel later that day, right?
Correct.
Those videos, right?
Correct. And let's see. I remember. I think Donald Miller got a bad rap for some reason while he was presenting at Echo, but he was one of my favorite speakers. And let's see. John Abel was the worship leader at least once, and I really enjoyed him as a person and just kind of his laid-back worship style. And until the last Echo, I think I was in charge of designing kind of the visuals for the worship sets.
Okay.
I don't usually do that, so it was kind of a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but also an exciting kind of. I'm nodding at Timmy over here, who's standing right next to me. There he is. But having the ability to be artistic in another way that I'm not usually artistic, and use my own content as well as Centerline and a lot of things Bart did, and
right.
David Womack, and just a lot of fun, that stuff.
So you were the director of the visuals on screen during the worship. Is that what you mean?
For the first few years. Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the first few years, not this last year.
No, I helped with some of the ones in the last Echo, but Jonathan Malm was, I think he was in charge this last year, and Scott McClellan, who was the Echo director for quite a while.
Right.
He did the ones for the Echo previous 2012.
So you were at all 6. Did you see any type of trend happen through all of them? Something change, something evolve as each conference happened that you could describe, or were they all different onto themselves?
Let's see.
I guess they got bigger, that's for sure.
Yeah, they got bigger. We increased every year, and that was exciting for us. Let's see. Trend.
Something that I saw last year, just kind of a common theme through the event, was this idea of story.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, I went kind of from breakouts to the main session, just this idea of story and that we're telling a story. And I don't even know if that was a pull from, I guess it was a pull from the main theme, but I just felt like that's where people's heads were at the time. Were there maybe some major themes that shifted through the six times? Like, you're maybe thinking more about tech early on, and things kind of went beyond that throughout the events?
Yes. I think when we first started Echo, Rob and Jeff actually had in mind for it to be a learning time, a refreshing time, a time for folks to get out of their normal environment and be ministered to. And then kind of as I think maybe through the middle few years, there was a little more toward tech. We did the advanced sessions that you could be part of. Then we moved those to, what were they, breakouts? No, not breakouts. What was it called? Because the breakouts were just the general talks in the smaller settings.
Right.
And then we had the sessions that were a little more in-depth. You could gather 5 to 20 people or so in a room and just kind of hash it out, whatever you want to talk about.
The like on the Thursday morning, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which were just introduced in the last two, correct?
I think the last 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forget what those were called. They were just kind of topical sessions, and I was in your session in the last one. We talked about After Effects, and I think you did some scripting.
Yeah, probably some expressions. Yeah.
Yeah, some expressions. There was actually a few things that you did that changed my workflow. I was actually really glad I went to that little session.
Well, I'm glad you did too.
I think, I always like seeing how people do things, because I think in design work, things can be done in different ways, and once we figure out a way, that's the way we stick with. So just seeing someone work through a problem, I see the tools you use, the options that you pick, and that was a lot of fun for me, seeing you work.
Yeah, so tell me about some other breakout speakers or keynote speakers that you remember.
That kind of made a dent. I went to Barton's the 2 years I was there. I respect him as an artist, as someone in the commercial field, always doing interesting work, and he was always ready to share how he did it. The tools he used. He wasn't hiding anything. So, as an artist looking to refine what I do, here's him explaining, hey, this is what I did in Cinema 4D. This is how I composited in After Effects. These are the time constrictions I had, and I needed to buy, stock content and models to make this happen quickly. These are the shortcuts I took. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing him even improve as a communicator from those 2 years.
Yeah.
Definitely saw just a big step in his deliverance of his talk those 2 years. So
yeah.
that was a lot of fun seeing him grow like that.
Speaking of favorite moments, one of my favorite moments was doing the After Effects late night session with Brad Zimmerman. Brad, can you hear us? Oh, can't hear you. He's here,
I see him.
and he has shorter hair.
He's trying.
Let's see. There's me
Hold
until
up,
we
hold up cue cards.
get And there's Ashton in the back there. You can see Ashton. Wave, Ashton. Ashton is one of our designers.
I didn't see a
She
face.
did a lot of stuff for Echo. A lot of behind the scenes. There's Brad.
Nice.
Hi.
Hi, Brad. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about Echo Conference.
Yes. Hi, Timmy.
Timmy. There's Timmy. Brad says hi.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Brad.
Good to see you,
I
friend.
didn't say hi to Jeff either. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, buddy. How's it
Hey,
going?
finally, congratulations in person, Timmy. I'm excited for you and Ainsley.
Brad says he's excited for you and Ainsley with your baby.
We have got 10 days left.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I don't
That
know
is
what I'm
very
doing
exciting.
with my life at this point.
Not to derail the conversation. I just
No.
wanted to say congrats.
Actually, it's topical because her real name is going to be Echo.
Yeah.
Probably not, but maybe.
Middle name, maybe?
I'll buy a cat.
Echo Allen.
I'll buy a
Your
cat,
child
and I'll
is going to
name the cat
be a large black man who killed people on Lost.
Echo. Lost, yes. Yes.
That was its
Or-
complete-
Yeah, it got really weird there until you said on Lost.
Yeah, I was wondering where that was going because I was trying to picture where that
There's
could
lots of
possibly
viewers.
be from, and then you kind of wrapped it up at the end. It was good.
Yep.
It was good to see you guys.
See ya.
So, Brad, we're just talking about things that you remember fondly from Echo. You have something off the top of your head?
Well, Echo introduced me to a lot of new food that I had not had before. Growing up in the Midwest, our food selection wasn't quite as vast.
So you learned a little bit about salt and about barbecue sauce.
I learned a lot about barbecue sauce and a lot about sugar in tea, because there's plenty of sugar in tea in Texas. My favorite food was from the very first year. There was a sponsored dinner, and the dessert was Pokio's custom ice cream cookie sandwiches.
Right.
And those were fantastic. So that was my favorite food memory, which has nothing to do with content, but it still was an awesome experience. So
Great.
Yes.
Another one of mine was the photo booth. Photo booth really made me happy, and I have here a couple of photos from the photo booth. There's me and Timmy.
Oh, fun.
There's my buddy Luke from Triple Wide Media, and Caitlin she's was with Graceway, and we have gotten to know her very well. I love the photo booth. I loved just the themes. We would come up with some crazy graphical themes and get to expound on a theme. It was a lot of fun, especially the countdown from this last year with the video gameplay. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah, I felt like it was one of the, besides year one, I think this past year's package was my favorite. The first year with Rob's kids and the giant pile of echoes and them yelling and all that kind of stuff. That was super cool what Barton worked on and whatnot. But I thought this past year's pixel bitmap 8-bit, that's the phrase I was looking for. 8-bit look was pretty awesome. So,
any more speakers that you guys can think of that you have good memories of? Anything? Back to Donald Miller, just hearing him talk about story and how important story is. The idea that Donald Miller could take something that seemed like it was not really going to go anywhere, but eventually just tie everything together. And I remember just being in tears and sobbing and wondering where in the world all the emotion had come from by the end of Donald Miller's talks. So, all right, now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jonathan Mall.
Yeah.
Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for joining us, man.
Hey.
We're talking about Echo, remembering, and fun things, and people we remember, and quotes and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to say something now, you can. If you want to ruminate for a moment while the rest of us do.
Just sit there and smile.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'll do.
Just sit there and look pretty. Did you freeze?
Hey, I
Go
was just
Brad.
going to say, going on that Donald Miller comment, I really enjoyed the authentic way that he spoke this past time, and just kind of threw it all out there and said, you know, the movie I made, that was actually one of the coolest moments, was seeing a pre-screening of Blue Like Jazz a couple years ago, and being able to go to that was a really cool. And it was, I mean, because I've never been to a pre-screening of any movie. And so to like go to the screening and have like partway through the movie it just cuts to a black screen that says graphics of rabbit in space, and it's like, what the crap is graphics of rabbit? And you know, and it just sat there for like 30 seconds and then stopped. So that was pretty cool. But it was cool hearing him just be real and raw and say, you know what, the movie wasn't that great, and it, you know, it was what it was, but you know, it's nothing that I'm like crazy proud of, and a lot of that book I don't know that I agree with anymore, and just hearing some of that stuff I thought was pretty interesting, and really cool to hear somebody be so real and honest, and not feel like they just have to put on this facade to make everybody happy.
Yeah. And how cool was it to be able to see the Noah trailer before anybody else did?
That was equally as awesome. Still haven't seen the movie, though.
Nor have I.
Me either. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
None of
I
us
saw the
have seen
trailer
it.
though. I thought that was enough.
So, Jonathan, you were the director of The Last Echo.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us some things that stuck out to you as you were getting ready for Echo, things that were going through your mind, that you were contemplating as far as the attendees would be involved in, and things that would hopefully touch maybe the hearts of others as they came to Echo, experience Echo.
Man, that's a good question. I haven't thought about this in a while. It was a lot of it just trying to create. I saw Echo as sort of the church service for the overchurched, which is kind of the tribe that we're in, where you know we serve at 10 different services on a weekend. It feels like, even if it's not that many, and you know, just kind of an ability to receive from someone else, to realize you know we're all in the same boat, and kind of be encouraged. And a lot of conferences, and this is not a knock on conferences at all. I love conferences, but they're so inspiring sometimes that they can be a little inaccessible. You know, you can almost feel like you were binge drinking, and when you get home, you're just like sitting over your toilet, just like vomiting all that you like experienced. It was so much fun, so much all at once, and it can leave you feeling kind of hungover. And so my real goal was just to kind of give you some ideas, but avoid that worshiping at the porcelain throne metaphor.
You just made me really uncomfortable. Let's see, let's see if I can share this thing. I have this guy right here. Can you see this guy playing?
That's awesome.
Nice.
That was the countdown for the first Echo, for the last Echo. When we were putting it together, there was what are we going to do for 5 minutes? Kind of panic, and then came up with the idea of having the gameplay go to a certain point and then reset and go through. And all this was done in After Effects. All this stuff was either designed by Joe or Travis, and that's Joe Cavazos. Travis, how do you pronounce your last name? Rice? I think it's Rice. And it was funny being in the environment while people were watching the countdown, because the little guy would get to a certain point and die, and suddenly everybody's like, "Ah!" and kind of feeling like they were watching someone actually play the game, and having to watch him go through again, and then he finally makes it through to, let's see, this little thing where he gets the ice cream. Sorry, let's back up there. He gets the ice cream from the ice cream truck, and we had the little tool and the flying hat and the spinning beach ball of death that he destroys, and then the iconic motorbike from the sticker, and finally he makes it to, so he's going to jump off his bike there in a minute, and he makes it to Echo, and if you look really close here, you can see over there under the Echo sign, Brad Zimmerman.
That's me.
That's Brad.
You gotta look really closely.
And there's Marcus Williams over on the far right, and some other fun stuff. So thought that was pretty exciting.
Trent, is that you with a handlebar mustache there?
Of course.
We don't know about?
Of course, it's not me. But
I remember Joe sent me that because he was trying to really represent the hipsters that might be there, and I just bursted out laughing. It was so funny.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was very cool. Yeah, I have stickers of me, and they're actually sitting next to my bed. I still haven't found a place to put them, but I have stickers of 8-Bit Brad.
Yeah, man, it's tough
like
when you have a sticker of yourself. Where do you want to put it?
Yeah, I feel like it's almost having a poster of yourself above your bed. It's kind of.
Yes.
It's also I don't know if you feel weird about this, Jonathan, but I have a poster of you over my bed.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's really funny because I have one of you over mine.
This is just getting very weird.
So the nepotism is that. So the snake is eating itself. Let's see. Let's talk maybe some more about some of the thoughts and the concepts that we got out of Echo Sessions. Does anyone still have notes, or just even going back as far as you can remember from keynote sessions that you can remember?
I specifically remember just like overall ideas of what how Echo got started, and I specifically remember the first year. Mm-hmm. It felt like the whole time there were like these two prevailing ideas, and one of the big prevailing ideas was like media belongs in the church. Utilize it. It matters. It's important. And it was really interesting because I feel like after that first year, it was like we don't have to convince anybody of this anymore. There's no need to convince people of this anymore. We can move on from this thought and this idea, which was cool because I think there were so many churches out there that were afraid of it and didn't see the power of it and all that sort of thing. And so I thought it was really powerful that Echo was part of that transition from this something we're scared of to okay, so we can use it. How should we use it? And then towards the end, it was more of instead of how should we use it, it's why are we using it? What's the theology behind what we're doing with it? When is it distracting? When is it not? A lot of that stuff has changed throughout the years, which was really cool to see that progression happen and be part of it.
Yeah, that's really cool because you're right. Early on, and even maybe up to the point where we did Echo at Bentree, there's still the idea of, yes, use media, and how do you use media? Putting it putting it on your screens, putting it on your walls. How can you be creative? But then I love the idea that we now have graduated to thinking about why in the world do we do it, and what kind of stories can we tell, how can we impact, and it's a good thought. Anybody else? Josh Larson was in the chat here, and he says that he really enjoyed Andy Crouch's talk in something like 2011, maybe. He got on the piano and played a little piano at some point, and it was pretty moving.
I still remember his analysis of Ratatouille. That was him, right?
Yes.
That's
yeah,
correct.
that was actually my first Echo too. I was still working at a church, and just this was my first experience with Echo, and that really stood out to me. Just that idea of story, and just how that's such an innate thing that's hardwired into us to look for a story of the good falling down into this pit, basically. Every story is man falls into a pit, man gets out of a pit, right? But that's such an innate desire for us to see, something that was in a good state to be, destroyed, but then to actually return to a better state than it was in the first place, because it's just it's a metaphor. It's a reflection of what eternity is.
Yeah.
That's actually my number one Echo regret, is I missed that keynote. I don't know what I was doing or where I was, but I missed that keynote. I did luckily get to be a part of Andy's breakout session, which was when was a phenomenal breakout session talking. He again pulled apart these different ideas and talked about how basically music, when you listen to a song, when you first hear a song, you have this, let's say 100% enjoyment of that song, and over maybe the first few weeks or the first few months, that enjoyment stays up there, but then it quickly declines and you forget about that. But when you play an instrument, your first play of an instrument is usually like a 2 or 3% enjoyment because you don't know how to play the instrument. It's really low. But over time, the enjoyment of playing an instrument always goes up. It always gets higher. It always is better. And so it's that whole idea of creating versus consuming, and we always get more out of creating than consuming. Yeah. And when we consume, we consume something for a short period, it dies off, and we go to that next thing, and we're jumping from high to high. But when we create, that experience lasts so much longer. So I loved that talk. It was great. That was at Benttree that year, I'm pretty sure.
One of the things that I thought was really cool about Andy is that he would just go hang out. I think he went and got beers with people during.
You're not allowed to drink beer at Echo.
I know. That's why he went. That's why he went to a bar with me.
Oh, right.
But then, he would just be sitting out in the cafe waiting for people to come sit down and hang out with him.
Nice.
It's really cool. It was fun having Tony Hale at the last one. Tony just was an interesting guy. Funny thing is, he went to the same college, Samford University, that my sister and both of my sisters and a friend of mine from school, when I was in high school, all went to Samford. My parents went there, and suddenly I find out Tony Hale went there. It's pretty interesting. And just the fact that he was so down to earth and so interested in being a believer in the real world, it was really encouraging. So.
I have 5 minutes left, just so you know, before my battery on my computer dies,
Okay.
And then I'm out.
You have 5 minutes to find your plug.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I'm at home, so.
So that's the last possible place it'd be.
Most likely. I plugged into a wall at the building someplace.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Jeff, how is your life different because of Echo?
Wow. Yeah, for me as a producer, my life is different because now I feel more connected to my producing friends. You know, that I got to meet the guys I work alongside of virtually, right, in the same marketplace. So like Kevin from JourneyBox, you know, now we're good friends. Luke from Triple Wide, you know, we chat a lot before, but we got to hang out during Echo and afterwards, and then meet other producers like, you know, Shift Worship, and just other vendors, and that, to me, that's special. Being in this digital marketplace, I don't get to. There's no physical locations that I can actually go to meet these people. So to have this a meeting place where I can have those connections was really great. Dan Stevers, you know, same thing. You know, he didn't have a booth, so I got to walk around with him and sit in the main auditorium with him. So those were all moments that I hope I can experience again through another conference or other times.
Yeah. Let's see, Mom. Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the same sort of thing I learned in that first Echo. I mean, I had seen Echo when I was subscribed to Collide magazine. I'd been wanting to go for a long time, and I even tried to convince my dad, who was the pastor at the time. I'm like, I need you to go with me, otherwise it's not worth going, because you know, you can get the vision for yourself, but if the leadership isn't on board, it's not going to matter. And he couldn't. But the first time I was able to go, I'm like, okay, there's just a whole bunch of people that are in the same boat with me. And I mean, that was the same benefit I got from Collide magazine, and that, you know, it was just a place that I felt like I wasn't alone, and a place where people cared about the same things I cared about, and realized that was okay, that we cared about that. It wasn't the ultimate.
It's okay, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a support group. I mean, it's not the ultimate, you know, like my job as a creative director or a media producer is not the big point of everything, but it is valuable, and there is a need for it, and it's okay.
Yeah. Mentioning your dad makes me thankful that Echo kind of ramped up from just, you know, tech and web and storytelling to worship leaders and pastors and the general communicators at a church. I was very excited to see that more and more pastors and worship leaders came over time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is you know, when I was working at my church, I wasn't we weren't large enough for me to be a media producer or strictly a you know, visual worship leader or any of that stuff. I was the worship leader. I was unfortunately the IT guy. I was, you know, tech and all these different things, and it you know, it was all part of the same thing. And even once we grew where we could get more people involved, I still needed to work closely with the worship leader. I still needed to work closely with any graphic designers or so it wasn't just this silo. And I mean, that was never the heart of Echo, and I love that. But that was one of the things I wanted to do, is just really kind of expand the silo a little bit, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, I feel like it's possible, hopefully, and probable maybe, that teams that came with their pastor or worship leader to Echo, maybe they grew closer, maybe they had better community, or at least a time to where the pastor got to see, this is the kind of person that I'm working with, and the opportunity to have a deeper knowledge of that person and how to work with that person.
Definitely.
Let's see, we just have a couple minutes left here. I was remembering that I sat out on the patio by the baptismal pool at Watermark and played ukulele with Gregory Fish for like 30 minutes one morning at Echo. That was one of my fondest memories. I loved it.
That's awesome.
Anybody you met besides Dan Stevers that thought it was pretty cool? Anybody that you'd known on Twitter or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I built a lot of friendships through Echo. one, because I didn't have a car when I was there. So I found people who had cars and then built relationships with them.
So you could have a ride.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could get that good Texas barbecue in you.
Totally. So actually, just yesterday, I'm looking to see. Yeah, and it's cool because the last Echo, Dan was my roommate. We split a room to save a little cash, and and now he's moving to Michigan. Actually, he's in Michigan now, so it's all because of Echo, or because his wife decided to go to University of Michigan. Whichever way we want to choose, it's one of those two
you guys are
answers.
sharing the room again.
Yeah, he's on the other side of the state. But there's just some really cool relationships, and like my buddy Travis that I met, and he drove me around one year, knows that I love Pei Wei Asian Diner, and sent me a tweet yesterday of a photo of Pei Wei, and he said, "Thinking of CMD TV right now, heading into Pei Wei," and it's just like the relationships like that, and another guy named Van, who's in Pensacola, that is one of the coolest relationships, because he, on a pretty regular basis, just sends me text messages saying, "Hey man, hope you're having a great day, you rock." An encouraging guy, and an awesome relationship that I don't take for granted, and it's really cool, and we help each other out and stuff like that, and he's in Florida, and I don't know when the next time I'll ever see him is. But that relationship got built at Echo, so yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Jeffrey?
Another person, probably Kendall from Creative Pastor.
Mm-hmm. I tried to get him in here earlier. I don't think he's available.
He's not online. Great guy. So again, someone who I'd been chatting with online, getting to know, and then got to spend a good time chatting with him and his wife there, and just shooting the breeze, talking church media, and from there, again, another friendship. We chat regularly through text and FaceTime, things like that. So just making the church media world smaller through meeting together in person is beneficial.
Once you figure out that the people that are following you on Twitter and such aren't exactly stalkers, that they are actually cool people that you can hang out with, not be afraid of online. Then,
right.
At a certain point, you're like, hey man, I do want to hang out with that guy on Twitter or FaceTime or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think also meeting like the Renewed Vision guys. Here's software that I appreciate.
That was a lot of fun. I got to meet with Josh Larson and the Weave guys through the years, and just seeing the tech that's coming out, meeting with the Renewed Vision people, and saying, hey, what if this happened? Or
right.
It was a lot of fun getting to know those vendors as well.
Yeah, that's fun for me, and then probably just people coming up to me, people that use my products, that they would just say, hey, we use your designs, your motions on a Sunday morning, and that was just encouragement to me. I'd never met them before, and just a small little chat made me feel like I was a part of something. Sometimes I design things going, where is this being used, and how is this actually impacting a church or a community? So just having these little moments of connection meant a lot as well.
Yeah, that's great. Jonathan, any last words? Before we end the session.
Yeah, hopefully these aren't my last words.
Final word.
There's an assassin in your house right now.
Wouldn't that be creepy if you just right behind that door you see a face?
That is a pretty creepy door.
You don't know what's back there. It's scary stuff.
I think the door in your house matches up with Brad's door in his house right there.
Oh. Yes.
Could happen.
That would be totally awesome if
I just
Brad walked out and then walked into your house.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I mean,
Portal.
as far as what?
He said portal.
Never mind.
All right. Well, on that note, no, I mean, last words. I hope something like this happens again in some form or fashion. And I think it will. I think there's a community. I think there's a lot of people wanting to make something like this happen. It's one of those that'll never fully recreate Echo, because Echo is Rob and Jeff and the team and stuff made something really unique. That was very. It was just this relaxing thing. There wasn't this pretension. There wasn't this, and that's part of just the personality of RT and Rob and Jeff specifically. But yeah, so I look forward to seeing what comes in the future through someone, and I'll be excited to be a part of that too. And I think this is not the end of this dialogue. I think Echo started the dialogue, and I think others are going to carry it, and it's going to be really fun to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think we need to continue that, even if it's not through another conference. We definitely need to continue it online and keep that moving forward, because we're better together. Unlike the poster that says meeting, none of us is as dumb as all of us. We are actually smarter together when we pool our minds and our resources and make we can encourage each other firstly, and then help each other be better, be more thoughtful at the stuff we're doing. And I'm just glad to work with the people that put Echo together, because from Jeannie to Ashton, Jack, our developer, carrying stuff around and having his daughters come up and help with the store, and everybody from RT, all the volunteers that came together to put Echo together were just, again, like you said, Jonathan, we're not pretentious. We're there to serve and get to know people, encourage people, and then help people have not only a good, refreshing time, but also try and kill it with the media and make it a good quality experience that people can go back to their church and say, you know what, those guys at Echo did that with the same kind of technology that I have at my church. Maybe I could do that. Maybe we could, team up around the church and do that kind of thing every week, or, not to stress anybody out, but just a big encouragement for attendees. Igniter, RT, Graceway people loved having Echo.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brad, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It's great to see you. Appreciate you making time. We'll see
problem.
you online.
Yes.
And everybody, tell them where they can find you. They probably already know where to find you, but tell them anyway.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at CMDTV, and then my website is churchmediadesign.tv. I'm in the midst of a bunch of installs in our facility right now, so the website's kind of slow right now, but there's tons of free stuff on there, so if you're looking for free resources or whatever, there's a ton of free stuff on there.
Yeah, it's not just free, it's good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. So, yeah, you can check that out there. Thanks
Yes,
a ton for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Jeff, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. So churchmotiongraphics.com. You can find the work that I'm creating. Church Motion on Twitter and Instagram. Great places to stay informed, see photos,
Yeah,
all that
great.
good stuff.
Good stuff, and
Yeah.
you're putting up quality content.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan, people can find you.
Yeah, just Jonathan Mall on Twitter, Jonathan Mall on Facebook, Jonathan Mall on Instagram. It pays to have a name that's not very common. But yeah, connect with me. I love new conversations and new faces and new avatars.
All right.
Yeah.
More power to you. And Sunday Mag?
Yeah, SundayMag.tv is one of my sites that it does continue a little bit of the conversation.
Yep.
With some of the same people, same voices that were at Echo. Check it out. It's something I work hard on every month with my contributors.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about worship lately, just what it means to be worshipful, and can you worship in an environment where you don't think things are being done well, or things are too loud, or what? Just any number of things that could be distracting or whatever. And how do you come to worship? And I've been culling your sites to make sure that I read up all the information that people are saying about how to worship.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And Jonathan, thanks for joining me.
Definitely.
And Jeff, thank you for being kind of the spearhead on this. And we'll do another one of these at some point, I'm hoping.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys take care. Trent, find me at AE Trent on Twitter, and lead the Dallas After Effects user group, facebook.com/DallasAEUG. And right here at Igniter Media, Graceway Media, and Forte Creative Group. You guys take care.